Am I really portraying myself correctly, or am I just doing it to become famous? Or am I doing it because I don't trust my work or stand behind my work, which is even worse? Hey everybody, thank you for watching today. I want to talk about false advertising in tattooing. What is actually false advertising versus what's not. You'll see later in the video an example of an Instagram that I came across of a couple weeks ago called the Tattoo Truth Fairy. And I'm going to show you a little bit of their Instagram. I'm going to show you two examples. The one example that caught my eye and brought me to that Instagram, and it kind of just made me say, screw it, I'm going to talk about this. You know, I see it on a daily basis. Tattoo artists who edit their photos beyond what it realistically looks, and to me, it's false advertising. And then it gives the customers a bad taste in their mouth because this is what they see in a picture. They're like, this is what it really is, and when you tell them no, they think that either you're lying to them, they don't think that you're skilled enough to do this, they question other things. It just leads to problems, and I wish tattoo artists would stop doing it as often, you know, or do it to the extreme. You know, I'm okay with little edits, you know, blurring out the background. Sometimes cameras take a picture and it blurs out the background naturally, you know. So, but it's taking away from it. I get it. Like sometimes tattoo is too red or this or that. Like there's so many different reasons to do it, but it's like, how far is too far? Does it cross the line where you're just taking out the redness, or is it crossing the line when you're just completely altering what it would actually look like in person? People don't realize too, with tattoos, when it's first done, it looks completely different than essentially what it'll look like in a month from now when it's healed, 6 months from now when it's healed. At about that 6 month mark, you know how that thing's going to look for a good portion of its lifetime. But there's a drastic difference between a lot of people's, what their photos look like versus what it looks like fresh, let alone healed. And healed to me is one of the most important parts of a tattoo. I've said that before here. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to here, and I'm going to show you guys an example from my work. I don't do the editing 99% of the time. If I do anything to a picture, and it's very rare, I'll blur out the background. You know, I used to put black around the background, but then I thought that it looked choppy and didn't work, and it was essentially what started me thinking false advertising years ago. But there's people that go as far as fixing their lines, adding blacks or adding whites. Like white is, there's a joke about Photoshop white where no tattoo is finished without that Photoshop white added to it in the end. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys over here. I'm going to show you guys a quick preview of the Tattoo Truth Fairy, and I'm going to show you a quick edit on my photo and just some simple things of where I think if I were to post the photo that I edited to, I personally think that's too far, and that's false advertising. But I want you guys to know, like, after you guys see it, comment, tell me below what you guys think. Is that too far? As a customer, as an artist, what's your guys' thoughts? Just comment below. Okay, so here's the Instagram that kind of prompted me actually making this video instead of just talking about the desaturation and stuff. I came across this Instagram a couple weeks ago, and it just blew my mind. It's Tattoo Truth Fairy. You guys can check them out. I'll put a link below. They don't know I'm doing this. This isn't a sponsor or anything. This is just, I'm trying to prove a point, and I want to show actual examples of this stuff so you, the customer, or you, the tattoo artist who thinks, how the hell are they doing this? You can understand that there's a bunch of liars out there. But I got a couple examples. This one right here is the one that caught my eye and brought me to Tattoo Truth Fairy. I've seen this many times before. However, I knew that that's not how it looks. It's impossible with all this dark black back here and all that. Like, it's not possible. And then you look at how it actually looks. This is probably a healed picture. However, there's a giant difference between that and that. Even like this little color behind it and everything. Like, it just shows that this isn't reality. And then here's the other example. And the reason why I chose this one is because I see a lot of people come into the shop all the time with stuff similar to this. This covers animals, this covers a female face, and it covers both. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen tattoos who are like this on the forearm. But you can see, like, this is what it actually looks like in real life compared to after it's been photoshopped. On this Instagram, Tattoo Truth Fairy, you can see the examples of them showing how it's photoshopped and how crazy it is. If you see whites that are like that, chances are it's photoshopped. I mean, just look at the difference. And I purposely blurred out who liked it or any of that stuff just because I don't want anybody, I don't even know who did this. I don't even remember who did this or did this. Like, it's the point of what it is. It's not who did it. And just to show an example, this is a tattoo I did myself a couple weeks ago. I want to show you an example of how people, how they take away like this redness and stuff, and like there's a limit to like what is really false advertising, like how far is too far. This is me. I took this picture that you see here with my Nikon camera, so it is a little bit of a better camera. This is a natural blur from the camera. I'm not opposed to people blurring out the stuff, you know, or if you had someone else's tattoo right next to it that you didn't do, especially if it's not a high quality tattoo and you don't want your name attached to it, totally cool blurring it out. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, and I use mine for an example. And this is just a quick example. I know for a fact that people go way more detail into it, but just to show you how quick that this changes. You go to here, you take out the color, you bump it out, and you know, generally from what I've been told or see is they take it to where it's almost black and white and then just bring it just back enough. They bring it back just about there. And then you can already see like more of the depth, the more of the tones, the redness is gone. And it's like, I get it. But then they take it farther and they'll go into the lighting, you know, go into the shadows and bump up the shadows a little bit. You know, you can start to see the background changing. Go to the shadows. They'll bump up the contrast. And then you can even do stuff as far as the shadows and highlights and all that. And this is just from the iPhone. Or this is just from the editing part of it. You know, this isn't going into Photoshop. And there's a lot of people that use Photoshop. So the point of me showing this is look at this. To me, yes, this enhanced the photo, made it look better, but it's kind of false advertising. Like, you didn't see me add whites to this, but that white is pure white. That's not how it looks in person. Like, and like I said, I'm using my own work so I can show, like, that's why I don't do this stuff. I mean, I want people to see what's actually possible. I don't want them to come in and be like, oh, I want it like this. And then when it comes and looks like this, I've had people not say stuff to me, but say stuff about like, oh yeah, this is what I went in and this is what it looked like healed. And this is what I was expecting, and then it looked nothing like that, and now it's too light. So just to show you the example of what the actual photo looks like versus edited. Is that false advertising? What do you guys think? I'm calling out my own work, not because I do this. I don't do this. I'd rather show it on my own work rather than do somebody else and make somebody mad at me. What do you guys think? Is that false advertising? I'm kind of on the edge. Like, I think the more you edit it, the more it gets away from its raw photo, the less it looks like it actually is in person. You know, gives the customers and other tattooers false advertising. All right, now that you guys have seen the examples, what's your guys' thoughts? Did I edit my photo too far? If I were to post that, would you guys think that's okay, acceptable, or would you guys rather see the original photo? Now, again, like I said, every photo I post on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, it's its natural photo. You know, I try and show as realistic as what it can look like in person. It just drives me nuts when I see people that oh, my friend got this, let's get this, or I saw this on Google, let's do it like this, but why can't it look like that, and this and that, and the biggest reason is Photoshop, essentially. You know, I didn't use Photoshop to edit the photo, but that just shows just using the program built into my tablet that how much I can alter it. If I went in there with my Apple Pencil and brought it into my photo editing program, I mean, I can go nuts with that thing. But I mean, I think even just that little bit I did is false advertising. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment below, let me know. You know, I don't want you guys to think I'm harping on the tattoo industry. I don't want you guys to think I'm calling out anybody. I'm not. I want you as the customer, you as an artist, to look at yourself and think like, am I really portraying myself correctly? Or am I just doing it to become famous? Or am I doing it because I don't trust my work or stand behind my work, which is even worse. It's understandable to do it for the likes and the notoriety and getting popular, but once you get all that, if they see how you really are, that crash is going to be a lot harder. You know, you're going to fall way farther on your face. Not all of us are perfect. I am by far from where I ever want to be tattooing, and I don't think I will ever reach where I want to be because I constantly think that path is just growing and growing. Now, before I get out of here too, I want to kind of tie this into the art industry too. I've been studying photography like crazy lately. You know, I got a pretty nice camera. I've always loved photography, nighttime photography especially. The trails of lights, it's just, you look at it and you're like, whoa. So I've been seeing a lot of lately too of how far is too far of editing your photos or editing your artwork. You know, it doesn't matter if it's photography or this or that. If you're editing it or taking out things, how far is too far? Or if you claim it as this is a Photoshop piece or a Photoshop art piece or this or that, does that make up for it or what? You know, what do you guys think? I think too with Photoshopping and stuff and digital art, I think it's a great art. I think when it comes to digital art, the more you create yourself, the more original it is. Even if you're taking an image of, like, say, I take a nice beautiful landscape of the mountains, and which I've never done because I've barely seen mountains, but I'm just using an example. And in the background, I change the background to more spacier planets and shooting stars and rockets and maybe a cartoon alien floating around. Who knows? You know, just get crazy with it. Obviously, it would be a Photoshop thing or a full alternated thing. But I think what I'm getting to is if I were to create that alien and make him fit into that scene, or create that planet myself, drawing it out and digitally altering it, or taking a picture of a wooden desk and getting that texture and putting that texture in a planet and doing that, like, you guys get what I'm saying. I know I kind of rumbled and stumbled there a little bit, but the more you make yourself, I think even if it is completely photoshopped, if it's an art piece, now I'm just talking art piece, it still can be considered an art piece rather than cheating. As long as you promote it the right way and say, like, this is what it is, I think you're golden. But anyways, before I get too crazy on this, what do you guys think in the end? Am I going too crazy? Am I going nuts? Or am I right? Or am I partially right? What do you guys think? How far is too far for cheating and editing your photo? Because, I mean, essentially, like, I think when it gets too far, it's cheating, especially in the tattoo industry. Show who you are. Have confidence in yourself. If you suck, show it. You'll be able to see your growth. You know, there's going to be haters and everything. Haters and everything. Who cares? If you're showing growth and potential and you're growing, that's one thing. Fake it till you make it, that don't work anymore. It doesn't work. Show who you are. Be you. So when people find out that this is really you, they're not going to be like, oh, they're going to be like, oh, he's really a genuine guy. Or, oh, this guy's an asshole and this guy was just a liar and a cheater. What do you guys think? Let me know. Hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys follow me on my other social media networks, Art of J Nazca on Facebook and Art of J Nazca on Instagram. I think I did that the right way. And if you guys liked what you saw, please subscribe and click that little notification bell to Minty TV because this face is coming at you every week. Thanks for watching, guys. Be creative, push yourself.